journey started in 2013 as Plum. My own journey with the beauty industry started way before that. So my embarking on this journey is really a culmination of my experience at HUL when I started out, and later on at Faces Canada, which I helped set up in this country from the front end point of view. So I really combined the back end experience of HUL and the front end experience that I gained at Faces Canada to sort of bring Plum to life. The idea of Plum was really, and it really continues to be that, thankfully 9 years since the idea was born, that India lacks good, transparent, efficacious products that cater to an evolving demographic at the right price point. And to me, Plum is not just about product, which of course has to be great, but also about a brand that is endearing, that people love. So that's how this whole idea was born. We started with just about 15 SKUs, but now we've grown to over 150 across categories. We largely started out as skincare. Now we are more broad-based into hair, body, makeup, and even for men. Besides skincare being our forte. So that's in a nutshell how the idea was born. And from there on, we have evolved from being online only to being online plus retail, plus exclusive outlets and so on. So first and foremost, stop thinking of ourselves as only a skincare brand. Start thinking of ourselves as a beauty and personal care franchise, which is the categories that I spoke about. Secondly, being far more data driven in terms of scoping as well as execution, decision making. Thirdly, invest in talent at all levels across functions, and the right kind of talent, not just bulking up for the sake of bulking up, to address the opportunities that we have in front of us. And fourthly, deploying capital smartly, hopefully, in sort of attacking the opportunity that is there in front of us. I think those at the highest level would be the things we are doing. Okay, we're currently above a 250 crore annualized run rate. On a year-on-year basis, for the last 4 years, we have coincidentally, and that's how the math has turned out, doubled every year. Hopefully, we'll double this year also. And as you grow bigger, of course, the doubling becomes more challenging, but also more fun. And I don't think there is anything preventing us from doing it other than our own ability to execute what we have taken on ourselves. Therefore, I remain confident of us doubling this year also. When we started, we were one of the first to encourage people to read ingredient labels. I think we pioneered the what's in, what's out philosophy on our packaging. So we used to not only say what's in, we also say what's out and why. We were one of the first to put out blogs, which even today, if you see on Google Organic, they'll be trending up saying, are parabens good, bad, or phthalates good, bad, etc., etc. And the science behind it keeps getting updated. Now, just the difference is that some of the written content is now becoming more video first or video only content, because people's reading, let's say, time and ability and interest has really shrunk given the availability of video. It's just humanly more engaging to watch a video than to read something. I mean, for most people. For some, reading is still preferred, but for many, watching is preferred. So therefore, we are doing a lot of video-related education around not just ingredients, but also the right way to use them, the right kinds of products to use or not to use, which goes back to the transparency thing. We again one of the few brands which says this product is not good for you. Do not use it if you have this, right? As opposed to just shoving everything onto a screen in front of you and saying, go buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. So as a brand, therefore, we are just being very, very discerning in what we say. We are using video and images first as an approach to communication. We are also making sure that as we scale, somewhere our touch with the individual customer is not lost. So there is a bunch of things we do to make sure that we listen to even the individual customer, and everything is not an aggregated thing that we are looking at, and that quality and that, let's say, feel of the individual is also important, no matter how big you scale. So those are some of the things that we are doing to make sure that we are relevant in this evolving space. Initially, it's not a lot because most brands tend to, including us, tend to buy off-the-shelf solutions. As you scale, you'll realize, in which we are realizing now, that many of these off-the-shelf solutions may not work, and therefore you are better off customizing. Having said so, it's a challenge to build technology in India, even though we produce the largest number of engineers, etc., in a year, etc. But the fact of the matter is to assemble and run a tech team successfully in India is quite challenging. And amidst all the other things that a D2C brand has to do, I think you really need either interest or commitment or both in technology to be able to build out a team from scratch, which I think a lot of brands are not doing, other than the e-commerce marketplaces themselves, which thrive on technology. For whom technology is a differentiator. In the case of D2C brands, I would argue that their core product and core brand building, core channel development, broad basing of channels are higher priorities in my worldview compared to building proprietary technology. And I'm talking about somebody like us. And if you're building a bespoke solution, then probably technology is core to what you do. And I think at some level that clarity needs to be there as to how much am I willing to chase this versus something else. This is a decision that you have to take every day as a CEO or as a founder, saying where do you want to spend your time, money, resources on. Technology right now, because it is being developed and has been, like Shopify is a great example. Today, most D2C brands don't have to worry about opening up a website because it's plug and play, as plug and play as it gets. Right? I think more and more technology will become plug and play, at least in the initial stages. As you start growing up the scale, then you need to offer more and more nuanced benefits. You have to offer differentiation and so on and so forth, where some more investment in technology may be needed. And I think that's where we are as a brand, speaking for ourselves. And then you go beyond where you've reached that scale where you're serving millions of customers a month from your own platform, and there you can't not have technology. So I think that evolution depends on where the brand is on their evolution. I'd be disappointed if we did not grow 8 to 10x from where we are over the next 4 to 5 years. The base notwithstanding, because I may think the base is big, but if you look at it if you zoom out and look at it from the market point of view, we are very tiny, very, very tiny. So I think we have a long way to go. It's really a question of staying true to what we are, continuing to understand what our consumer wants, because he and she is also evolving as we speak. What they were 3 years ago is not what they are now. What they are now is perhaps not where they're going to be 3 years from now, and therefore we have to continuously keep reinventing ourselves along this path and continue to execute well on this funnel. I think the funnel right now needs a little bit more, let's say, crystallization, understanding inside. It's a sort of a hazy, it's there, but it's a hazy understanding that we have. We have clearer understanding in some parts, not as clear in the others. So all of that needs to be woven together. All of it needs to sort of then be superimposed on very, very strong brand narrative, extremely strong consumer understanding, which, as I said, is the foundation for all of this. And then you go around building. So I think that's really the excitement that is there in front of us. It's really wonderful to be in this industry, in this country at this time, as I always say. 3 things together. 3 things coinciding together doesn't happen all the time. And therefore, my message to my team is always that you should be fortunate that you are in this industry, in this country at this time. Imagine being in the wrong industry, where there is a supply shortage, or where there is no demand, or where people don't care, it's a commodity, and so on and so forth. Here people care, they reward you for your hard work. Caramel popcorn, people are rewarding you for your hard work. They want more from you. right? There are ways and means for you to get to the consumer, which is unthinkable 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. So make the most of this opportunity. Pit cream, shower gel, face wash. Sugar, great brand. I would have liked to be a neurosurgeon. Has to be Warren Buffett's biography.